It's a little like I'm watching, but it's more like I'm there too. It's a little like I'm lying, but it's more like finding truth. It's a little bit like I forget, but more like I recall. And it doesn't feel like telling tales at all. Hey, I'm Ellie, it's Monday, and this week our theme is inspiration. Of course, there's loads of kinds of inspiration, and I've been inspired in my life by lots of great people. But I'm not going to talk about them, partly because I'll probably talk too much if I try. Instead, I'm going to talk about what inspires me when I write books. I basically have two kinds of inspiration when I'm writing books. There's the completely random ideas which just come out of nowhere and pop into my head, which are usually the best ones. And there's the I'm not really sure what to put here, so I will nick a plot idea from somewhere else. Every writer does that a little bit. I know I probably shouldn't, and I quite often don't consciously. It's just that later I look at a book and I can see I was reading something with the same plot. So looking back, I can see that one of my favourite books to write actually owes a lot to Maximum Ride by James Patterson, and that the first time I tried to do NaNoWriMo, I was pretty much ripping off Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. And I know for a fact that the idea for the book I'm writing at the moment came from a chapter in The Guide to Fantasyland by Diana Wynne Jones. In fact, I got inspired to write in the first place by a girl called Flavia Boujor, who wrote a book called The Prophecy of the Stones when she was 13, and I read this book when I was about 11 and thought, I can do this. I get inspiration when I'm writing from all over the place, and I'm quite prepared to admit a lot of it comes from other writers, because the whole point of writing is that writing is inspired by and inspires more writing. Nothing is created in a vacuum. But the one thing I've noticed is that the more pieces of work you draw on for your inspiration, the better your writing becomes. I'm not saying you're necessarily picking the best bits, but mixing elements from a lot of different works create something original. I mean, if you read some of my books, I doubt you would see what I see of the inspiration, because it's blended with so much other stuff that you couldn't pick out any one inspiring book from the mass of all the thousands of others that I've read in my life. So anyhow, that's my thoughts on inspiration. Today I nerdsplored going to the hairdresser for the first time by myself, which might not sound that worrying, except when I take my glasses off, which I have to have my hair washed and stuff, I can't see a thing, so I had an entire haircut where I couldn't see what the hairdresser was doing at all. But it turned out okay. Yay. Shelby, I'll see you tomorrow.